People, welcome to 10th of November newspaper breakdown. I've attempted this a couple of times now and it has fucking been interrupted every single cocking time, and I am doing my nutting. I have a lot of shit to do and every fucker is trying to rip me whole out with getting my attention. It is pain in the arse. So let's go through these fucking stories that I've gone through now seemingly 5 times. I should know off by heart at this point. So, researchers from the Trussell Trust, this is Foddbanks, UK's largest food bank network, found 1 in 5 people referred to its food banks were in work. We have a problem in this country where you listen to fucking Tory MPs and shit stains who vote for them in this country going along and saying that what we need to do to fix the country is to get everyone working. That would be absolutely fine if 30 to 40% of everyone under universal credit wasn't already fucking working. That shows that it is not the only thing. You need a pay rise, you need more hours, you need prices to go down, you need countless other things. I've met many people and I've got friends who say the same things as, well, if they worked harder. This is the problem, they just don't want to work. People just don't want to work. There was a study that showed that a more unequal society, the more unequal a society gets, the more people start believing in a meritocracy. Meritocracy is bollocks. There is no such thing as a fucking meritocracy. Don't matter how hard you work, it's luck. The majority is luck. Jacob Rees-Mogg did not work harder than you. Just didn't. And with the idea of just families do not want to work, generation after generation just do not want to work, there is 0.8% of people in this country who are in a 2 generations of not working. 0.8%. People do want to work. They just don't want to be in servitude. That's the fucking difference. The Trussell Trust have given a record number of food parcels, you dickhead, in 6 months since April. 1.3 million food parcels since April, which is 1/3 more than the same period in 2021. You have to be referred to go to a food bank. You can't just rock in. It's not your local Aldi. So we have this idea with food banks that I've run out of me quail's eggs, may as well just pop down to the fucking local food bank. No, you have to get referred by a doctor, by citizen's advice, something like that. The majority, unless you're not conning the system, and those that are conning the system, is a tiny percentage. But the majority who use it need it, and they shouldn't do. If I've said it once, I've said it a million times. Charity and food banks, once you've got them in society has failed you. A man was arrested after throwing eggs at King Charles. I couldn't give a merry fuck. Don't care. Chuck an egg at Prince Charles. People go, well, what if it was acid? Different fucking thing, isn't it? Different fucking thing. It matters not. What if Prince Charles got his cock out and started slapping people around the face? Hey, what then? It's all hypothetical. What he did do, he chucked an egg. We have a wonderful history of chucking produce at pricks, and I do believe full-heartedly that anyone that you are meant to bow to is a prick. It is 2022. I will not bow to anyone. I will not fucking work on that. He had all the supporters of Prince Charles singing God Save the King and saying shame on you to the 23-year-old poor-aimed fucker who missed Prince Charles. Listen, God Save the King, awful. What it's asking me to do is, as an atheist, it's asking me to request something I do not believe in to save something I do not believe in. Mentally, I'll fucking stand there and sing it like a dickhead. Britain is in a mental health crisis, according to figures analysed by Sky News. which is causing workers to drop out of the labour market, with the number of people neither working nor looking for work jumped to nearly 9 million since the pandemic. To long-term sickness, in particular mental health conditions, are the reasons for this, jumped by over 500,000 from 2019 to June 2022, with 450,000 of them can be attributed to mental health conditions. The top three: depression, stress, anxiety. You know, the ones that every fucking comedian claims they have all the fucking time. This is for people of 16 plus. This is creating staff shortages as well, costing money to employers. So potentially employers should be doing more, because the cost to the employers has gone up by 25% since the start of the pandemic, with things like absences, productivity, and turnover being the three majors. Now, I lack compassion when it comes to those top three: depression, anxiety and stress, mainly because the way I deal with it is a swift kick up the arse. But you can't say that to people. You can't walk up to someone saying, "Oh, I've got severe anxiety," and say, have you tried getting over yourself?" Because they don't like it. Neither do people around them, by the way. It's not a dumb thing. I understand I lack compassion on it. It's something I am working on. I am trying to improve, have more compassion for my fellow man, but it's how the same where people who are working in this country seem to lack compassion for those who aren't. It's they're going, well, I did it, why can't you? That is how my mind is stuck on for people with mental health issues. I've gone through stuff, I've had anxiety. When I had anxiety, I fought through it. Not the best way, not the healthiest way, not the way that you should all fucking do it, but that's how I did it. And it worked for me, which is why you see me now at such a healthy state. A group of economists have questioned the UK's black hole in public financing. This is the £50 billion black hole that we have, that is claimed by Sunak and Hunt as the reason why we need tax rises and spending cuts, which is why we're going to be doing more austerity, which is like filling a donut with shit. The Progressive Economy Forum has said that the £50 billion hole disappears if numbers are calculated differently. They claim that the old way that the government did the numbers would have left us with a £14 billion surplus instead of the £50 billion hole that we currently have, with the economists saying that the fiscal hole is merely the difference between an uncertain forecast of how much the government will spend and borrow in future under current plans, and what it can afford to do if it is to hit the arbitrary target of debt starting to fall as a proportion of the economy in 3 to 5 years. What that basically means is that the reason we have a £50 billion hole is because the government has said, right, we want debt to start falling in 3 to 5 years. And instead of growing the economy to make that fucking happen, which would be the sane way, the way if you cared about anything other than hurting poor people seemingly, and destroying anything that Britain has to be fucking proud of, if you actually thought about, right, what's the best way to do this? You would attempt to grow the economy. Not cuts, not fucking, tax rises, fine. Tax the rich. It's one of the best things you can possibly be doing. Tax the rich companies, make sure everyone pays their fucking tax. You'll cover the hole, your fake hole in an instant. Because if the economy grows faster, or the time frame changes, then this hole goes. So if instead of 3 to 5 years there is, say, 7 to 10 years, then this £50 billion hole would change dramatically. If they said, oh, it's 1 year, then that hole would go even bigger. So they've picked a number which has created this hole. It's an arbitrary figure, as austerity always is. It is a choice that they have decided you need to fucking accept. Brexit back in Tory peer and Next CEO has urged the government to allow in more foreign workers as irony has ended. That's it. No more irony. It's all done. Brexiteers who supported one of the worst decisions this country has ever done is now saying that we need more foreign workers in. So bye-bye irony. It was fun spending so much time with you. Ofgem has told energy suppliers in Britain to stop being bastards after it received alarming reports of cash-strapped households being left without power for days or weeks after them being pushed onto a prepayment meter. So price comparison website USwitch or USwitch showed the number of people on prepayment meters rising for the first time since 2019, with thousands being switched every month. Charities claim that this risks discontinuation via the back door if people are unable to afford to top up, with the Citizens Advice Bureau saying more people have been unable to top up in the first 9 months of this year than the previous 3 years combined. So energy companies are thinking, right, how can we make sure we save money so that we're not giving energy to people who haven't already given us money? Put them on prepaid. Chuck them all onto prepaid. What happens if they can't afford to top up? Fuck them. It's another good reason why nationalising energy, not a bad idea. Final story is we're not long till the World Cup. We are not long to the World Cup in Qatar, which is the first World Cup. Isn't the first World Cup built mainly on the death of slaves? Surely there was the first one was 1930. There are a lot of slave deaths in Uruguay. Fuck knows. The Qatari ambassador for the World Cup, Khalid Salman, has said that homosexuality is damage in the mind. Here we are with our way to this, of course, corrupt World Cup. Of course it's corrupt. It doesn't even it's more corrupt than Russia, because at least Russia has a history in football. You can argue something about them being given it. They never should have been, but there is at least an argument. There is nothing, absolutely 7 shades of fuck all, as to the reason why Qatar should have it. Built on slaves. The in memorandum is going to be about fucking 4 weeks with the at the end, with all of the who we've lost fucking time. And it's a bigoted country. We go along. You keep on being told you have to accept and respect the rules. If you go to another country, sure, you don't have to respect them. You just have to be wary of them. And you do not have to respect other people's opinions if other people's opinions are these people shouldn't exist. You don't have to respect my opinion if I think humanity should end. I do think humanity should end, but I think humanity should end for what I consider good reasons. I haven't read it from a made-up book where some fucking lettuce in the sky is telling me what's good and what's not. Religion always was, in the end, created on a way to control people anyway. Human Rights Watch has claimed the security forces in Qatar have been arbitrarily arresting and abusing the LGBT Qataris. recently. So don't forget to respect them. We shouldn't watch it. And the closer we get, the less chance I think I have of watching any of them. I mean, everyone does enjoy the World Cup, but I see no win. I see absolutely no fucking win. Right, I'll catch you all tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.